Hey folks, welcome to a wet and beautiful Scotland in a motorhome, trundling through some really wet, windy and wild roads. Absolutely stunning up here though. Welcome to another Q&A session. I'm going to get as close to the camera as I can to hopefully not lose too much of my voice to all the background noise I've got today. Apologies for that. Today's first question comes from Sebastian Karamoy, who says, I'm trying UVB light therapy soon, what's your thoughts on that? Well, I don't know if you can hear that rain in the background, but it is really heavy. Sebastian, personally I've never tried UV light therapy of any kind because it's never really made the most amount of sense to me. It's never really felt to me like my skin really needs artificial UV light in order to heal. I can understand it though if you're based in an area where there's really not a lot of sunshine and you want to boost the amount of sun exposure, if you like, or UV exposure that your skin is subject to. I would say though that you've got to be careful with it. I think you can overdo it. There is a chance to hurt yourself if you don't do it properly. But with that being said, I do have clients who have used UV light therapy and they really enjoy it as part of their healing protocol. So go ahead, but just be careful. The next question comes from Matthew Finley. He says, what about your scalp and hair? Do you use any shampoo, conditioner or styling products? So I used to have seborrheic dermatitis in my scalp, like a lot of people do, and from that point forwards I decided I'm not going to put anything unnecessary, particularly chemical containing, in my hair in the form of shampoos, gels, conditioners, etc. So what I choose to do now is, if my hair is really dirty, I use a little bit of shampoo. Doesn't really matter what shampoo, because I use so little of it that it doesn't really matter. I use soft water where at all possible to wash my hair, so a little bit of shampoo lathers up really nicely, goes a long way. And if I'm not doing that, I'm just using water. So I only do that if I've been out on a really heavy, sweaty bike ride and I really need to use a little bit of something. The next question comes from I Brained My Damage. Funny name. Did the eczema return going back to UK? So as some of you will know, I've spent a lot of time away from the UK, travelling in all sorts of places. And no, my skin didn't get worse, my eczema didn't return coming back to the UK because I have my daily detoxification and nutrition protocol down. It's really solid, it's really consistent, and so I know what I need to do when I'm here in the UK in order to stay clean and stay detoxified. I definitely am cleaner in the way that I eat when I'm in the UK because there's just not so much humidity, there's just not as much natural cleansing that comes from the atmosphere around me, so I have to take extra precautions, but I know what to do so that my eczema doesn't return. Next question comes from Tay-Tay's Love. Is hereditary eczema curable? What's the difference with non and hereditary eczema, if there is? Are they the same? Tay-Tay's Love, everyone pretty much who has eczema has some form of hereditary aspect to that. If you have a tendency for eczema, the chances are you got that from your parents, you got that from your grandparents. There was a weakness in your gene pool there, which is why you've got that. I certainly have it in my family, and so do a lot of my clients, and so I don't think it really makes much of a difference whether or not you know if your other family members suffer from this as well. Is it curable? Absolutely. Many people do it. Get on the program and stick with it. Next question from Akshay Bhatt. Hey Greg, how did you deal with dead skin cells and the infections that come along with them? I am someone with sebderm. I hope you will respond. Cheers. Actually, I'm also someone who had seborrheic dermatitis in the past, and how I dealt with the dead skin cells, what do you mean? Like I use the hoover to hoover them up. I picked them off when they were loose enough with tweezers. I tried to leave them on my skin as long as I could so that I wasn't interrupting my skin's process of healing and getting rid of the old skin cells. So I generally, unless I got myself into some form of scratching trance, I tended not to interfere too much with my skin and just hoover them up, brush them up, and get them out of the way when they were ready to leave. Infections that came along with that. When you say infection, it's really easy to get confused between oozing and actual proper infection that needs treating. Most of the time with people, they're just oozing, they're just going through heavy detoxification, and the yellow stuff that's coming off their skin in the long run isn't really anything to worry about. If in doubt though, get checked by a medical health professional. Che Cohen says, what's the healing process? Che, I believe I have over 200 videos on this channel now. Please go and watch some of them and you will start to learn what the healing process is. If, however, you want everything in one place, then set up a direct consultation with me or purchase a copy of the complete guide to healing eczema. Sandra Poku says, Greg, where do you get your blue and green algae from? Sandra, right now I don't get any blue-green algae. I don't use it at all on a regular basis. The only thing I am using is a mixed greens powder, which my wife bought, and so I started using some of that. And I get that from the supermarket. I think it's Tesco or Morrison's or one of those. It's just a natural green powder. If I had it here, I'd show you the packet. But I don't use any specific spirulina, chlorella or AFA or anything like that in particular at the moment. Okay, I'm going to leave the Q&A session here for today because I'm really not sure how much of this footage is going to be usable with all the background noise and all the bouncing around. But thank you again for your questions. If you want to be featured in next week's session, please drop your comments and questions down below this video. Sorry if I've missed your question out, I will get to it in due course. Thanks again for watching, we'll see you in the next one.